Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Underwater. Underwater is a mystery thriller about an underwater team on board for a drilling base when suddenly everything comes crashing down. What seems to be a catastrophic earthquake reveals itself to be something a little more. Now, this small team have to find their way to an escape pod across the ocean floor to save their lives. But I can't say I was necessarily looking forward to this. First off, the title is a hot mess. And then the trailers weren't that great either. And Kristen Stewart has more than proven herself as a worthy actress since the days of Twilight. However, her track record when it comes to mainstream wide releases hasn't been great to this day. So I was very skeptical, but hopeful and optimistic that this delivered an exciting thriller. And it didn't. While not horrible, this film is certainly not good. So let's go ahead and talk about the good aspects first. Well, I do think our cast is solid overall. Kristen Stewart actually does give a very good performance in here. Unfortunately, some of the dialogue she's asked to perform and read, not so good, but she really excels with the material. But all of our cast, all of the team is really strong and sells the material to the best of their abilities. I do also think there are some interesting concepts, interesting designs, and it is certainly an interesting idea. It's only sort of a positive because unfortunately it feels very familiar. But some of the visuals themselves looked very cool. I saw that we did a lot with practical effects and on a soundstage, on a set that was built. And I really appreciated that lived in real feeling as we moved throughout the film. And it's very short. I mean, this film kicks off with action within the first couple of minutes. We are on the move, and we virtually never stop moving until the end of the film. But unfortunately, that's about all I have for positives because I think the film was a mess overall. First of all, the direction was not for me. This shaky cam almost made me nauseous in about the first 10 minutes of the movie. I couldn't even tell what was a hand, what was a head. I didn't know if I was looking up, down, sideways, or even at the same film we started on. It was so shaky and all over the place. It gets a little bit more stable as we move, but I just found the way this entire film was shot and directed to be pretty uninspired and really shrunk us in instead of letting us actually get a sense or get any sort of scope, which I found to be a bummer because it looked like there was cool stuff to be had. I just couldn't tell what the heck I was even looking at. So, in turn, our cinematography also is a negative. It was so dark and so muddy and so cloudy that even when it wasn't doing that for effect, which is understandable, you're at the bottom of the ocean, everything still just looked flat and ugly. Just dark, no appeal to it, honestly, from a visual standpoint. Then I mentioned that script because it's terrible. Oh my gosh, the dialogue in this movie is so bad. The last line of this film made me want to die a little bit inside. I just found it to be so cheesy and horrible. But that was right in line with all of the rest of the cheesy, horrible jokes, the cheesy, horrible love story that's in here, the cheesy, horrible attempts at character motivations and development. They're all stand ins. These are all the stereotypical cardboard stand ins because we need people who can get killed. And in turn, we care nothing about any of them. Literally zero about any of these characters. And oh my gosh, other people might find what he did funny here. I found TJ Miller's character to be insufferable. He was so annoying. I couldn't handle him. I also don't think they got the physics right. I'm just going to say that. Once we start seeing non-human animals and creatures under the water, their movements seemed implausible in water, and the designs were also not necessarily practical. I just question the physics and validity of what they brought to the table. And as I mentioned, this feels like deja vu. Obviously, this feels similar to something like Alien. So overall, it's a regurgitated story with a bare bones script that doesn't bother with things like characters, good dialogue, or any sort of sense to it. So while it's not offensively bad by any means, it's not going to be one of the worst things I've watched in 2020. It's just not good. If you like the cheap knockoff versions of Alien, I think you'll have some fun with this. I do think there are moments and elements that are fun for the viewer, so I would give this a rental. Otherwise, just go watch Alien or any of the other versions of this film that do it better. So that is my review of Underwater. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Underwater? And what is your favorite film that either completely or almost completely takes place underwater? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!